So power without structure is one of the big ways that people get injured. So here's what I'm talking about. You can't separate power and structure. So if I start with the boxing glove on, adds a little bit more mass, which gives me power. I keep my acceleration. Acceleration is the real key to power, subject for another video. But as I come in, I can get some good power behind that, using my body and all that kind of stuff. But if I haven't trained the structure in my wrists correctly to keep that straight line, I can lead to some injury. So when I hit, it's very common to see people back it off. Now part of that is the conditioning of the knuckles and the striking surface itself, whatever it may be, and then the ability of the wrist to absorb the impact and the strength behind the ligaments and all that stuff. But as soon as I start throwing the punch with a buckled in wrist, which boxing gloves, sometimes people do, they'll throw these shots like this and they're hitting here instead of with the knuckles like they're supposed to. The structure is compromised. The wrist might bend, little things like that start to slip in there if it's not trained and strengthened properly, because strength is really the key to that. The body doesn't allow what it cannot control, and strength is the way the body controls it. Also another subject for a different video. But anyway, another element of that structure would be my shoulder. I see this all the time where people are complaining about shoulder pain when they're doing stuff, and they're raising up, they're throwing hooks, and oftentimes a simple thing that people don't realize it's a result from the elbow being behind the shoulder on impact. And so you get this constant hyperextension with all this force behind it, working into the tendons and ligaments of the rotator cuff and everything else. So it's a simple thing of poor structure leading to long-term injury. But if I keep the wrist straight and I keep my elbow in front of my shoulder when I throw it, I still have a strong structure. Then we learn how to increase acceleration, utilize our mass and our weight properly, and all that stuff that goes into it. And it's all supported by the body. If I'm leaning back and I'm hitting straight, obviously I'm just gonna blow myself back. So I have to find that right balance, and then I have to find a way to make sure that everything is going into it in a way that supports it, no hyperextension, etc. So just one simple example of how power and structure cannot be separated or people are gonna get hurt.